Weakers, tweakers, thrill seekers, welcome to another episode of freaking Our Week in Review. My name is freaking Taylor, the freaking Sandman, freaking Lofton, and with me as always is freaking Doug Jordan to my freaking left, and coming all the way via freaking satellite New York, freaking sex dungeon, but now it's actually a freaking YM freaking CA, Taddea Risher, back and in freaking black, geez Louise, down on my knees. Gentlemen, start your freaking engines. This is Our Week in Review on freaking WAYOLP freaking Rochester. Weakers, tweakers, thrill seekers. It has been 1 week since we last freaking spoke, and we miss you very, very freaking much. We are so freaking horny. Geez Louise, down on my knees. Gentlemen, Taddea Risher, you are gone. Let's get a little update. How you doing? How you been? And how freaking horny are you?
Thank you for asking. Just get it all out there. Very freaking horny, as always, maybe even more so. Had a bit of a rough couple of weeks. As Weakers and Tweakers know, I was getting set to pull a prank on one of these YMCA guys who sticks around here. His name is Keith. I peed on him inadvertently one day, and he threatened to stab me, so to prank him back, I said I was going to poop on him, and I did it. I pooped on him.
You poop. So the plan was, just so that we can go back a little bit for Weakers and Tweakers who might not have heard, and when you say inadvertently, you mean intentionally, you peed on Keith while he was using the toilet, going number 2, you peed right on his face and a little in his mouth. And then to make amends, which I think is a great, freaking brilliant idea, you decided to prank him by hiding in the drop ceiling above the bathroom and dropping a freaking turd directly onto freaking Keith. How did it go, and what was his reaction?
It went very well to start. I successfully pooped on him. Weaker and Tweaker actually donated a little fecal donation, so I actually threw a little bit on him too. And I thought I got away in time, but he knew immediately it was me. And he followed through with his promise, and he stabbed me. So you freaking died, or the doctor did say that I was dead for a little bit due to blood loss. That's where I was last week, and I apologize to Weakers and Tweakers for not being here, but I was in the hospital. Keith stabbed me. I lost a ton of blood, and I'm back now. I'm back at the YMCA. I'm using a walking cane for right now, just until I get some of my strength back, but I'm having a great time, and cancer's still going strong, so that's a bit of a bummer. Couldn't do anything about that, but I'm looking forward to the show.
Geez Louise, down on my knees. Taddea, I've told you before, but I will tell you again, I am so freaking proud of you. I'm so freaking proud of everything you've been able to achieve in radio and freaking podcasting and in the life of freaking sex, freaking hilarious freaking sex escapades, and with your freaking courageous losing battle with freaking cancer.
Thank you. And that also, I just that does bring up another issue, though, too, that I have a couple of medications that I have to be on to get my strength back up. Medication in this country is not cheap. And, Doug, I'm going to need that money you promised me soon.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not. I never promised you any money, so I'm not going to give you any freaking money.
Well, Doug, first of all, you siphoned off of the funds that were supposed to go to freaking Taddea Risher's freaking cancer and his fecal donation. Geez Louise, down on my knees. Now, you've siphoned them off, used them on your sexcapade fake trip to Italy, which was really Fire Island, where you made love to your freaking co-host of your freaking show, Doug Knows Best. For Weakers and Tweakers out there, I think you know his name. Yep, it's Soonjay. And beyond freaking that, geez Louise, down on my knees. You also used it to pay for not enough shrimp for the freaking shrimp festival, and now you're working as a freaking shrimp salesman. Doug Jordan.
Well, hold on. Let me stop you right there. I didn't siphon off any money to use on my trip. I had saved money for my trip A and B. And second of all, if you're talking about the little bit of money that I had saved up, I had to use that to freaking bail you out of freaking jail the other night.
Okay, so I wasn't sure that I was going to freaking talk about that this week. But cat's out of the freaking bag, and it's actually funny you say that because this is all involving a freaking cat. Weakers, tweakers, thrill seekers who listened last week, they know that I had I thought was I was receiving what I thought was a freaking award on Monday morning after recording the podcast. And unfortunately, for everybody freaking involved, especially me, it was not a freaking award, and they call it a warrant. And I say that first of all, they shouldn't call it a freaking warrant because it sounds too much like a ward. And I thought I was getting a freaking award. And turns out, no, I got freaking charged. I got freaking charged with breaking and entering and criminal freaking mischief. And for Weakers and Tweakers out there, they know I love freaking mischief. If there's one thing out there that I love, it's freaking hilarious freaking mischief. And it's always freaking pranks. And geez Louise, down on my knees. This was just another freaking prank. I was arrested for the situation where I let out a bunch of cats, dogs, rabbits, and even a freaking pretty big snake a few weeks ago. From a freaking animal hospital, and they got my image directly, and they arrested me. They've set me up with a freaking a very, very nice freaking fellow named freaking DeMarcus Jackson. He is a freaking state hired freaking attorney, a court appointed freaking defense attorney. Guy's a freaking crack job. He's freaking hilarious. He's going to be taking care of me, and geez Louise, if I'm sure, for one thing, I'm sure he will get me off in one way or another. But other than that, he will also be giving me a freaking award. I'm sure at the end of this whole thing, I'll end up getting a freaking award for all the freaking wrongdoing that they caused me, and we might end up freaking countersuing. Yes, I have been freaking arrested. Yes, I have been charged. But geez Louise, I'm freaking innocent.
Yeah, but you're not in it. You just confessed to doing it on the radio show. So I mean, you're not innocent. You did it. You broke into the animal hospital and you let all the animals free.
Doug Jordan, there is a law, and I wish I remembered the name of it. But anything that you say on a freaking recorded device that is going out to the freaking masses cannot be used against you in a freaking court of law. So I think we'll be okay on that front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did you hear about that? I've never heard about that in my entire life.
I'm pretty sure it was freaking Judge Judy and Judge Joe Brown.
I'll fact check it.
Okay. And the thing about it though, Doug Jordan was gracious enough to freaking bail me out of freaking jail. This guy is a wealth of funds. Geez Louise, and you wouldn't think it from looking at him through the way that he dresses or the way he grooms himself. But geez Louise, down on my knees, this guy's pockets are as deep as the freaking Dickens, and he is ready and willing to freaking pay for any expense necessary. So Weakers, Tweakers, Thrill Seekers, if you need anything, I highly implore you to call 513-914-6201. That's our week hotline. Ask for freaking Doug Jordan, and I will connect you directly with him, and he will be happy to give you anything that...
No, I won't.
You'll be about fourth or fifth in line though, because Doug owes money all over town.
No, yeah. I don't owe anybody any freaking money anymore. I'm tired of it. You freaking calling me late at night. Oh, Doug, please help me. I'm so scared. I'm in jail alone, and I gotta freaking come and bail you out. I gotta get out of my house, and I'm wearing my freaking pajamas. I gotta get over the freaking jail, and I gotta freaking bail you out again.
Yeah, and I was so freaking happy to see you. And for Weakers and Tweakers, I want to tell you guys one more thing. They took my freaking officer's freaking uniform, and I had to leave in freaking jailhouse freaking garb. Yep. It's called a freaking jumpsuit, and they give you Velcro freaking shoes so you don't hang yourself. And I would have freaking hung myself. But not from my freaking neck, from my freaking dangly Johnson, if you know what I mean. Or maybe I would have hung myself from my neck while I was freaking masturbating in the freaking cell, if you know what I mean. Who died that way? Freaking David freaking Carradine.
Yeah, Dave Carradine.
Guy was freaking off. Weakers, Tweakers, it is a solemn episode here. Sandy the Sandman Farkas is unable to join. No, have not heard hide nor hair of him. Can't find him. Can't seem to locate him. I hope his tiny little ugly girlfriend didn't freaking kill him. But I know she freaking did, and we're all gonna miss him so freaking much. Sandy, if you're out there anywhere, go ahead and call 513-914-6201. Doug Jordan. Thank you for freaking picking me up, and I was so freaking happy to see you. Now, freaking Taddea, freaking Risher, one thing I did want to ask is, since you've been freaking stabbed, what happened with freaking Keith? You are walking with a cane now, which is freaking hilarious, but this man that you basically took a freaking giant freaking dump on, is he still out there? Is he thirsty for more blood, or did they catch him and maybe freaking castrate him and put him in the freaking stockade? What's the situation?
It's actually a really good thing that you brought that up, because that's something that Weakers and Tweakers in the area should be aware of. Keith did get away after he stabbed me, and the police are out looking for him. He's a homeless-looking man. You can't miss him. He probably still got a little bit of feces all over his face, if I had to guess. So just if you're out there and you see a homeless man covered in shit, I'd call the Our Week hotline, and we'll report him to the police.
Yeah. Yep, that's what you do. If anybody actually comes into any criminal contact, first thing you always want to do is call, you guessed it, 513-914-6201, and we will get right on top of it, because we have a crackpot team here consisting of freaking Doug Jordan, myself, Sandy the Sandman, R.I.P. freaking Farkas, and you guessed it, freaking Taddea, freaking Risher, and we will jump on it, and we are 10 out of 10 in terms of investigations, although I never did find that urine that Doug Jordan was stashing. Now, we have a great freaking show for you, Weakers, Tweakers, Thrill Seekers, and we're going to jump right into it because time's a freaking wasting. News, discussing, views, yep, you guessed it, it's all here, and we might even have a freaking hilarious freaking segment for you at the end, although I don't know if we'll have freaking time. Last week, President hopeful Joe Biden was met with pushback at the 2020 presidential fundraiser in Seattle after making a comment about a gay waiter, according to CNN. Biden was referring to the wealth of change the country has undergone, saying that 5 years ago, if someone had made fun of a gay waiter, people in Washington state would have just let it go. Now Biden says that person would be not invited back. The remark sparked a rallying chant from the audience. Not in Seattle, the crowd shouted in unison. Biden has made it known that that he has publicly supported same-sex marriage since 2012, ahead of the then President Barack freaking Obama. So, Biden, for Weakers and Tweakers out there, I'm sure we've all had a freaking hilarious gay waiter at some point or another, and maybe he has freaking brightened your freaking day and brought you joy and brought you freaking endless freaking breadsticks and soup and freaking salad and then endless freaking pasta, and maybe by the end of it he got mad that you were ordering so much freaking breadsticks and freaking pasta because it wasn't making the check go up at all, and you weren't going to tip him more than a freaking dime anyway, but he freaking brightened your day, or she might have even, or they freaking might have, as it were. Geez Louise, there is the third thing that is undescribable, but we here at Our Week in Reviewed freaking 100% completely and totally freaking appreciate and support. And geez Louise, all the gay waiters out there, we're here for you. And in 2020, you freaking guessed it.
Guess what?
What are you freaking talking about?
You said in 2020, yeah, you guessed it, and then you just stopped talking.
Yeah, about the
gay waiters, Doug.
Yeah, well, there's going to be there's plenty of freaking gay waiters, and gay waiters of the world, hands across the freaking America. Yep, you freaking guessed it. So definitely.
I just don't know the way you're trying. You're making a statement, and then you're kind of trailing off, and then you say, "Yep, you guessed it," and it's like you're saying you guessed it, like you have something you have to say to finish out the statement.
Yes. Well, Doug, that's the thing is Joe Biden's talking about gay waiters in Seattle, and he's been doing it since 2012, and now we're in 2019, soon to be 2020, and gay wait, yep, you guessed it.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the freaking gay waiters of the world, and first of all, and I just want to say for the freaking record, my second favorite waiter, yeah, you guessed it, is a freaking gay waiter. My first being a waiter at freaking Hooters, with the big freaking breasts and hilarious tiny little freaking shorts and really super freaking tight tank top. and basically balloons just bubbling off of her freaking chest, most likely freaking fake. And geez Louise, down on my knees, that's what I'm used to. That's what I freaking like, and that's what I hope everybody would get to freaking experience. But if you can't have that, geez Louise, down on my freaking knees, a nice freaking gay, hilarious freaking waiter making sassy remarks, bringing you freaking tons of freaking pasta, marinara, meatball, endlessly over and over again. Free refills, yes, freaking please. I'll take freaking another freaking Coke, and this time I want freaking half Coke and half freaking Diet Coke, and I want you to pour the freaking Diet Coke in first, and then the freaking Coke, and then I want you to top it off with a little Diet Coke so I can have it in freaking layers. And if you got a freaking problem with that, geez Louise, I want to speak to a freaking manager, and guess what? Your tip, it's starting at freaking 10. That's freaking cents. It's going down by the freaking minute. Mm-hmm. So freaking so that Doug Jordan, does that answer your question? Yeah, when I say freaking gay waiters, yep, you freaking guessed it.
Well, it sounds like you just don't treat any sort of waiter or server very, very nicely at all. If you're starting at 10 cents and then you only go down if they don't layer your Coke and Diet Coke properly.
I say, this is what I say. I say, you might be a freaking dime a dozen, but you shine as bright as the brightest dime there is. Mm-hmm. So I'm also very freaking polite. And I try to go to places I actually try to go to buffets most of the time. So, but sometimes I'll go if they have the endless breadsticks and pasta deal at the freaking Olive Garden.
Yeah.
Last week, a Texas woman was effectively banned from her local Wichita Falls Walmart after eating a half a cake in a store and refusing to pay for the whole cake during the checkout, according to Fox News. The woman, who is not identified, took the cake from the bakery department and began eating it as she walked through the store. Upon arrival to the checkout line, the cake lover refused to pay full price for the half-eaten cake, according to Wichita Falls Times Record News. After the police arrived, the woman was prompted to pay for the dessert item in full. And I guess that's the end of the freaking story. So after the police arrived, the woman was prompted to pay for the dessert item in full, and she was effectively banned starting freaking immediately. Doug Jordan, why don't you go ahead and take this to the freaking sports desk? If you were going to steal a freaking pastry or a snack of some kind, which would it be, and how would you freaking do it?
Well, first of all, I would never steal a pastry or a snack of any kind. I would always pay full price for it.
Taddea, Richard, go ahead and jump in.
Yeah, as you know, as someone who loves cake and is known for not paying certain debts, I want to call out Doug Jordan for this one right now. I could see you stealing any sort of cake, and before you even ask me, Doug, yes, a cheesecake. I would steal a cheesecake.
Yeah. Now, Taddea, Richard, have you ever experienced freaking Doug Jordan's thievery before firsthand? Maybe at a previous job or experience that you have had?
It's that's, you know what, that's such a good freaking point that you bring that up. When I was managing the gas station, that Doug Jordan eventually stole that job from me, but not before he stole, I'm going to say, half our inventory of potato chips and Doritos, to probably for his show Doug Knows Best and for his lover Sanjay, and I just, yeah, I mean, Doug has stolen a lot from me in the past, and
no, I haven't. Do you want me to are you going to keep rifling off nonsense, or do you want me to tell the truth to the people?
Well, I mean, you know, when all this inventory goes missing in the gas station, we're talking Doritos, we're talking Lay's, we're talking Cheetos, we're talking hot fries, we're talking peanut butter cups, we're talking Snickers, we're talking Heath bars, we're talking slushies,
Paydays.
Yeah, Paydays and the Three Musketeers,
Baby
and Twix.
Freaking Ruth.
Oh, baby! Oh my God!
You know what I like those freaking chunkies.
Oh, me too.
Eating one of those gives me a freaking huge chunky in my trousers, if you know what I freaking mean. Gets the blood flowing.
I like fast breaks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Take 5. Doug Jordan, why don't you jump in?
No, because he's accusing me of stealing all this freaking crap that I never stole. When it turned out, after you stopped showing up to work, they found out that you were siphoning funds from the freaking drawer, and then you were blaming it on me and telling everybody that I'm the one that's freaking stealing chips. You were the one that was freaking stealing money.
What are you talking about?
You know what we're talking about. You were telling everybody I was stealing chips, and oh, that's just Doug. He's just stealing chips, but you were just skimming money out of the drawer every night.
That's freaking hilarious. That's absolutely freaking hilarious. That's a freaking grade A prank by Taddea freaking Risher. If it's true at all, that is a grade A prank.
Yeah, if that's true, it's freaking hilarious. Yeah. Not admitting that it is true, but if it were, That's funny.
And luckily, if you did admit to it, anything that you say here on the freaking radio cannot be used against you in a court of freaking law. Last week, it was announced that former CEO of Theranos, Elizabeth Holmes, will be going to trial for her fraudulent blood testing startup in San Jose next year, according to The Verge. Federal prosecutors have indicated Holmes and former COO Ramesh Sunny as Balwani for 2 counts of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and 9 counts of wire fraud. According to U.S. District Judge Edward J. Davila, the trial will begin next summer, and the 2 could face up to 20 years in prison and hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines. So, first of all, what this makes me think of is freaking John Holmes, which is my favorite freaking porn star from the freaking 70s. Much like freaking Elizabeth Holmes, they both were, they had huge freaking startups. Big freaking startups, and I don't know how this is going to end for Elizabeth Holmes, but freaking John Holmes always had a real big finish too, if you know what I mean.
Wait, why does John Holmes remind you of this story?
Because it got the same last freaking it got the same name. John Holmes is a freaking porn. He was a freaking porno star from the freaking 70s. He's long as he is freaking tall. He's 6 foot tall, 6 foot 2 inches tall, and just as freaking long, as they say.
So I don't know what. Why would your mind go to a porn star from the 70s and not, I don't know, Sherlock Holmes if you're going by names? I feel like Sherlock Holmes is a lot more well known than freaking John Holmes.
You really think that's freaking true? Because how many freaking books out there are about freaking Sherlock Holmes? How many freaking movies have been made about Sherlock Holmes? You know how many freaking movies freaking John Holmes was in? How many freaking hilariously great freaking pornos he was in?
I'm looking it up. There's got to be at least, there's too many to count, but I would say there's at least more than 40.
Yeah. He's only did 40, and geez Louise, and the guy was known for his freaking shots, so... Yeah, I mean, you got to give him that. Do you know anything about freaking Theranos or Elizabeth Holmes, Doug Jordan?
No, I don't know anything about him. Yeah, well, I know a little bit. They said the federal prosecutors have
I'm not just from
Holmes.
The freaking story that I just freaking read. I'm talking about from any of your freaking outside freaking knowledge.
Well, yeah, I know she lied about blood testing or something. And then
she freaking lied to freaking investors. Big freaking deal. And guess what? If she had said it all on the radio, she'd be in no freaking trouble at all.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah. No, she should have said it on the radio. And Doug, if you're going to come to the show, I'm just, you got to come with a little bit of facts, like the fact that Elizabeth Holmes was born on February 3rd, 1984. She resides in Los Altos Hills, California. She dropped out of Stanford University. She's been active for, I don't know, 15 years. Her partner's Ramesh Balwani, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and actually, she's no longer with. She was only with Ramesh, basically Mr. Balwani until 2016, and then yep, you freaking guessed it. She broke up with him. She's got a new freaking boat, and she's having sex with him, trying to get him to make a little free blood donation, a little freaking sex blood and semen freaking donation inside of her freaking body, get her pregnant, so she can be the first woman to go to jail with a freaking baby inside of her.
Yep, Billy Evans.
Has that ever freaking happened?
I would assume, yeah, probably.
You think there's been women? Do you think there's been babies who have spent their early days in the fetus in freaking prison?
Yeah, I would assume. I mean, haven't you ever watched that show?
How do they get the freaking little handcuffs on them then inside of the freaking womb? They go in through the bottom, or through in the they cut the belly open and put it in, or they go up through a freaking and put the handcuffs on.
Yeah, but the baby didn't do anything, so why would the baby get arrested?
Well, why are they in jail?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the freaking... First of all, the baby... You ever heard... If I go with you to a murder, and I just stand there and freaking eat a bag of freaking, I don't know, bagel Lays or whatever it is that you freaking like, and you shoot and kill your wife right in front of me, and I'm just standing there eating the chips, and then I go, well, I didn't freaking do anything, and as if I don't freaking say a word about it on the radio, yeah, I'm going to go to freaking jail as a freaking accomplice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you're not a freaking baby inside of a womb.
Yeah, but the baby was right there with him.
Maybe she didn't get pregnant until after she committed the crime.
Yeah, but this is a freaking hypothetical situation. I mean, this must have freaking happened.
You know what? I'm trying to look it up. There's no law that says you can't put a baby in prison unless they admit to their crime on the radio. That's inadmissible.
Yeah. And unfortunately for babies, geez Louise, down on my knees, they most likely cannot speak at that age, at the age of like 0 or whatever it is. So. Last week, health officials at CDC warned Americans of fecal parasite that can be transmitted through the use of swimming pools, according to CNN. Geez Louise, down on my knee. Cryptosporidium, or crypto, why don't they just call it freaking crypto, as it is better known, can cause otherwise healthy adults to suffer from profuse, watery freaking diarrhea for periods of up to 3 weeks. Symptoms worsen for children, the elderly, pregnant women, and anyone with compromised immune system, though outbreaks are almost never freaking fatal. So you hear that, freaking Doug Jordan? Don't freaking go swimming in a swimming pool because you have a freaking compromised immune system because of the freaking herpes all over your freaking body.
Yeah, well, I don't have herpes. The first thing that I worried about was Taddea at the YMCA. I mean, there's a swimming pool there, I'm assuming, right?
What are you talking about? So what?
So you can get the friggin' feces disease or whatever it's called.
Well, not unless I poop in the pool, which I have not done.
And also, they don't use the freaking swimming pool for swimming, let me tell you, as from what I freaking hear. Taddea Richard, why don't you go ahead and tell us what they use a swimming pool at the YMCA that you're staying at?
I mean, it's obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
They use it for freaking sex.
Yeah.
They use it, you jump in, and you look like you're going for a nice little swim until someone else jumps in there with you, and suddenly, it looks like, you're trying to rescue somebody from drowning. All of a sudden, some things get hot and heavy. Suddenly it becomes a hot tub, if you know what I'm freaking mean, because it's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that happens every time somebody tries to use the pool at the YMCA.
Oh, I'm sorry, Doug. When was the last time you went to an MCA and didn't have sex with someone in the pool?
I don't know what an MCA is. Do you mean a YMCA?
What are you talking about?
You said MCA instead of YMCA, so I was just calling you out for that.
A men's Christian association.
Yeah, but it's Young Men's Christian Association.
He's not having sex with young men. He's having sex with adult men.
Yeah.
What the heck's the matter with you? It's to save his life. The guy's got freaking cancer. He's freaking on death's freaking door over here.
I've got cancer, Doug.
No, you've been lying about cancer for months now.
You know what? I'd like you to prove it.
Yeah.
We can go back to the tape that you do on me all the time. You go back to the tape, you find the one where we read the story about the person lying about freaking cancer, and you saying, you know what, I think that's a good idea, and then you start fake coughing. I think I have freaking cancer.
Well, no, that was...
This is he's just going to do this, Taddea. He's just going to go in freaking circles. He does this every freaking episode. He latches onto one freaking thing, and then he just tries to accuse everybody of the same freaking thing, and he does it every freaking episode.
He finds things that barely connect to each other and just throws out unfounded accusations at people and gets them all revved up, and I think the listeners are getting sick of it, Doug.
Yeah, I do too, and you're on thin freaking ice.
Yeah, I'm getting sick of you guys doing that exact same thing that you said that I do. I'm sick of you guys freaking doing that to me.
What are you talking about? Last week, the United Nations expressed fears that an asteroid could collide into a densely populated area in the future, and therefore designated June 30th as International Asteroid Day in an effort to raise awareness, according to Russian news network RT. The date was chosen in homage to the largest asteroid impact in recorded history, which took place in Tunguska, Russia in 1908 and destroyed acres of forestry. NASA and other space watchdog agencies have identified 4 asteroids currently traveling through space that could be on a collision course with the world of Earth. So, Doug Jordan, let's say a freaking asteroid was coming and you saw it, and it's up there in the freaking sky, and you said, I maybe have 1 day left. And then this asteroid's going to crash right into the freaking world of Earth and going to destroy everything and any record of anything I've ever done. What would you freaking do, and how would you freaking do it? Would you perhaps say goodbye to the ones you love? Maybe admit to things that you've done?
Yeah, but I don't know.
We're gonna do a freaking round freaking panel discussion on this. So why don't you just take it away? What would you do?
I feel like whatever I'm going to say, you guys are going to start riffing off of that and come out. Oh, Doug, you're sure you wouldn't do this rather than that?
Doug, we can't do that if you don't say anything. So you have to say something.
I wouldn't do anything.
Really? You wouldn't admit to maybe having a romantic relationship with one of your show producers, or maybe admit to...
He's not my freaking producer. He's my freaking co-host.
Doug,
and also, I don't have a freaking romantic relationship
please.
with him.
All right.
Maybe would you admit to not having freaking cancer? Would you admit to not doing half the things that you say that you freaking do 90% of the freaking time?
No, because I have freaking cancer. You wouldn't admit to having a certain disease contracted sexually. You wouldn't admit to having a little tiny man hidden underneath a certain piece of furniture that you sleep on and torturing infrequently.
Yeah, and you wouldn't admit to the freaking gallon upon gallon upon gallon of urine that you have stashed somewhere in your house. Or the fact that your son doesn't love you. I mean, we could go all day, but unless you say something, we're just going to have to speculate on things, and we're not really going to be doing a whole lot of great freaking radio. The reason I didn't ask Taddea is because he's basically in that situation now where there's an asteroid called Cancer coming for him. And soon enough, it will break him apart into tiny little freaking pieces. And geez Louise, down on my knees, freaking Humpty Dumpty couldn't put that freaking king's man back together again, not even with a freaking hand job.
No.
So he's trying to freaking his way out of his freaking cancer, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing to say. So what would you do, Taddea, if the friggin' asteroid was coming?
I don't know. I'd probably go on the radio and do exactly what I'm doing right now. Having a good time.
Yeah.
Getting high and having a lot of sex.
Yeah.
Taylor?
Yeah, I have absolutely no idea what I would do. I couldn't tell you. I have not a clue. I've never been able to freaking think about it. I have no idea.
That's understandable. It's a tough question.
My freaking off. I don't know. Probably off a little bit.
Sure.
I'd probably already be off when I noticed that the freaking asteroid was up there in the sky coming right for me. So I probably would just do what I was already doing. So. Last week, a woman was reportedly thrown off a flight from Malaga, Spain, to London due to her revealing clothing, according to Fox News. Though the airline said the woman was removed due to her behavior and not her clothing, Harriet Osborne claims that she only became irate after she was asked to change her outfit in response to other passenger complaints. The outfit, a sheer top, exposed Osborne's nipples, caused several travelers to complain and prompted staff to offer her an alternative garment. According to a spokesperson from the airline, Osborne was removed from the flight after continuing her disruptive behavior. Doug, Jordan, let's hear your freaking fresh take on this.
The way she wants to wear what she wants to wear, and then she can freaking wear it. What do you want me to say?
But what if the freaking pilot looks in the freaking rear view mirror and then he gets a freaking full freaking eye, a full mirror of freaking nipple, and then the next thing you know, he's doing a freaking barrel roll and freaking diving and a nose freaking dive, and the plane's spiraling out of control, and then freaking Sully Sullenberger got to freaking come out of the freaking bathroom. He's a freaking retired freaking pilot. He's not even doing it for freaking professionally anymore, and then he's got to land on a freaking river between Spain and freaking London. Maybe the freaking English Channel.
I mean, I don't know. Hire a pilot that isn't a freaking pervert, then I guess.
I mean,
well, I mean, if I could just weigh in. I'm looking at the photos right now of this woman and the outfit that she was wearing. And geez Louise, if I saw this woman in the rear view mirror and I'm the pilot, I'm crashing the plane.
Yeah. How's it going to get any better than that, right?
Oh, she's so hot.
Yeah. So you think she can wear whatever she wants. More power to you. More power to her. Power to the freaking people. And geez Louise, down on my knees. Keep doing what you're freaking doing. You look great. You look sexy. And Harriet freaking, what's her name? Freaking, is it Tubman?
Yeah. Osborne.
Freaking Ozzy freaking Osborne. This is freaking Ozzy Osborne's freaking kid. You know what? I've seen a picture of her before. She's not very attractive. I wouldn't advise wearing a sheer freaking gown, but geez Louise, down on my knees. If that's what she wants to do, she can do it, I guess. Not on a freaking airplane, though, because the pilot was going to look in the freaking rear view and crash a freaking plane. Last week, a hot dog vendor in New York City created a 120-pound hot dog and is hoping to nab the coveted Guinness World Record for the crowning achievement, according to UPI. Feltmans of Coney Island, the vendor who first brought the weenie to Coney Island in 1867, says their latest wiener is 5 feet long and 2 feet wide and is nestled between a 5-foot bun made by Brooklyn-based Michael's Restaurant. The company plans to parcel out the massive frank into smaller portions and sell the wiener pieces at $10 a pop after official Guinness measurements. So, Doug Jordan, this is a quick sports desk, and tell us, is somebody, should this challenge be who can make the biggest Frank or who should eat the freaking biggest Frank? It's a 120-pound freaking hot dog.
I think that they should have to eat the whole thing in one freaking sitting.
Yeah, one person?
Yeah, just one person. Maybe two people.
Yeah.
Is there anybody in particular you could think of who might be able to eat a 120-pound hot dog?
Yeah, I think Taylor probably could eat it.
Well, thank you for that freaking honor, but I think the honor should go to, yep, you freaking guessed it, Jonah freaking Hill. World's fattest freaking man, obviously world's greatest eater, and the guy is basically the size of all of the Galapagos Islands rolled into one, and then the shape is just totally rounded off because it's just a freaking blob. And yes, I don't know if you can tell where he begins and where he ends. I could imagine, honestly, this hot dog sliding out of his rear very freaking comfortably. He's that freaking big.
Yeah, but he's not that big. He's a normal-sized guy.
Doug, what are you talking about? The United Nations named a whole day after him, the International Asteroid Day, when he first fell from the sky into Russia in 1908.
Yeah, it's a whole freaking day after him. He burned a whole freaking forest down. And I'm surprised. I think if he, and that's only because that was so freaking long ago. He wasn't as big. If he were to fall back to Earth again, geez Louise, down on my knees, the thing would crack into freaking a million freaking pieces. Mm-hmm. He'd probably just knock it out of the orbit and just take its place, and then we'd be living on freaking Jonah Hill's body. And there'd be way more gravity because he's way freaking bigger than the Earth.
Right.
So freaking fat. I wish I knew more fat jokes so I could make them about freaking.
He might bounce off the Earth and we'll have a second moon.
Yeah. Man, that's a good freaking point. Last week, What was that? You guys signaled to each other?
No, I was making the signal of what Jonah Hill would look like if he started orbiting the Earth, but you can't tell because we're on the radio.
That's freaking hilarious freaking radio right there. Last week, royal biographer Katie Nichol revealed that Prince William was rejected by a Texas classmate during his college years, according to Mary Claire. Is that how you say it? Mary Claire. The woman in question was Texas heiress Megan Gunderman. According to Nichol, one classmate recalls the prince asking Gunderman, "Why won't you go out with me?" The prince has since married and had at least 2 children known to the public with wife Kate Middleton. So if a prince can't get a freaking date, geez Louise, down on my knees, is there any freaking hope out there for freaking regular Joe freaking radio like me?
Yeah. I don't know. Knowing you,
let's talk about me here, Doug Jordan. Because I'm feeling a little freaking lonely, and you're getting sick of talking about you. So why don't we talk about me for once?
Are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah, Doug. Obviously, I freaking want to do it. I want to do it. That's why I got into freaking radio, so I can talk about freaking me. What kind of girl could you freaking see me with? Describe her physically.
Taddea, you want to try and do this one?
Well, he asked you, Doug.
Yeah, it's a freaking Doug. It's a question for a family man, Doug Jordan.
Knowing you as the person that I know, I can't see you dating freaking anybody.
Well, that wasn't any help.
Yeah, that's not. First of all, this is extremely freaking depressing. Second of all, you couldn't see me. What kind of girl would like a guy like me? Is what I'm trying to freaking say.
I guess one that could put up with all your freaking bullshit.
Let me step in because I feel like Doug Jordan is absolutely botching this segment. This woman, her hair is just greasy as all get out.
Yeah.
And it's partly because of all the mayo she eats and just, hasn't really taken a shower in a while. But she's a free thinker. She's doing whatever she wants. And when we say whatever she wants, I mean she is walking around impersonating soldiers and letting animals out of the shelter.
Yeah.
So you just described Taylor.
Yeah. It's basically just Taylor with female genitals.
Do you think if I had a freaking girlfriend, my freaking best friend and freaking co-host of the freaking show, Sandy the Sandman Farkas, would have sex with her?
Yes.
Yeah. Doug Jordan, if I were to, what would be the way to ask a freaking one of these freaking women out there? Because there are so many freaking fish in the sea. Weakers and tweakers need to know this. There are so many freaking fish in the sea, and some of them have freaking butts, and some of them have breasts, and some of them have freaking vaginas, and some of them also have freaking penises, and they just look like they have freaking vaginas, and it's no freaking big deal, and you got to freaking love it, or you got to freaking leave it. And geez Louise, what kind of freaking? How do I go about asking one of these freaking women out on a freaking date, and what should I do for the freaking date, Doug? You're a freaking married guy, and you got a freaking boyfriend.
I don't have a boyfriend, but I am married. I would just say, hey, you want to go out to eat sometime?
Where would I take him out to eat? Freaking Ruby Tuesday, or
you could take him to a nice restaurant like a Olive Garden or something.
With the breadsticks. That's a good idea. Do you think that I should eat as many freaking breadsticks as freaking possible to impress her?
If that's something that you're interested in doing, then I think you should go for it.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and interject here. You need to go to you don't have to necessarily go to a nice restaurant. You just have to go to one where they have the gayest freaking waiters you've ever seen, so you have plenty to laugh about during the meal.
Yeah, and freaking hilarious freaking gay waiter. The only thing that I'd be afraid of is that the gay waiter would end up freaking stealing my freaking girlfriend from me. Is that something that I need to freaking worry about? Doug Jordan, go ahead.
Well, I mean, if a waiter is gay, then probably not something you have to worry about.
Well, but isn't sexuality freaking fluid and can go up and down and all freaking around? And maybe you're gay right now when I'm talking to you and when I'm talking to my freaking other gay friends. But then 2 minutes later, I'm freaking straight as a freaking Dickens, ready to freaking talk about freaking boobs and football and freaking drinking beer and freaking having sex with women and freaking ladies and laying down on top of them and plunging away into their freaking nether regions and them freaking, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, if you want to say that sexuality is fluid, I think that I support that opinion.
Yeah.
Plus, this gay waiter is going to be funnier than you. It's just in his nature.
Yeah. And you can't make fun of him freaking back because then you'll get freaking, because then you won't be invited back according to freaking Biden.
I mean,
at least not in Seattle.
Fun of him.
Gay people?
No, I mean, you shouldn't make fun of your waiter for being freaking gay.
Well, why would I make fun of jeez, I almost said freaking gator. Why would I make freaking fun of my freaking waiter for being gay?
I mean, that's something that freaking Joe Biden was talking about doing. He said that 5 years ago we used to make fun of the freaking waiters for being freaking gay.
Now, I didn't read the entire article, but it did seem as though freaking George Biden said that freaking, that he seemed to say this out of the clear blue sky, and that is one of the weirdest freaking things I could think about just bringing up in front of a whole group of people. And I say some freaking hilariously freaking weird things, but I wouldn't stand in front of a rally and just say, geez Louise, down on my knees, let's talk about freaking gay waiters.
All right.
Let's talk about how gay waiters, you could make fun of them 10 years ago, 5 years ago, and now you can't freaking make fun of them anymore. Now, first of all, who is he to tell me who I can and can't freaking make fun of? Second of all, what does he know about freaking gay waiters? You know, that's what I want to freaking know. How many freaking gay waiters has he freaking nabbed?
It seems like a lot if that was the first thing that Kent went to his mind.
In his mind, can gay people only be freaking waiters or sex workers?
I mean, I think just waiters. I didn't think he said anything about gay sex workers.
So,
well, no, that was implied, though.
Does he think that there are just every waiter is gay?
I mean, it seems like it if that's what he was trying to say. We used to be able to make fun of gay waiters, and now we can't anymore.
So he was griping about that. He was upset that he can't make fun of gay waiters anymore. He was talking about freedom of speech.
Yeah, I think that's what Joe Biden was freaking saying.
I'm not sure he's a man for me. I'm thinking Tulsi Gabbard, or maybe going with freaking Chelsea Clinton or Elizabeth Warren.
Who's that one guy that looks like a thumb?
And Andrew Yang.
Lizzie Warren.
Wait, who looks like a freaking thumb? The
freaking bald guy.
He's kind of black a little bit.
No, he's very white. Looks like a freaking thumb.
Oh, he does look like a thumb. Is he the Speaker of the House?
The thumb or the guy you're talking about?
I think a woman is the Speaker of the House, isn't it? Isn't that true?
That'd be Nancy Pelosi.
Freaking Nancy Pelosi. Why doesn't she freaking? She's Italian. That's why Italians aren't allowed to run for president because of freaking Nixon, Kennedy.
A Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, you can't do it. They'd turn the freaking country into a big freaking spaghetti and meatball freaking party, and nothing would ever freaking get done. Look what happened in freaking Italy. You were there,
I mean,
supposedly.
I don't think you could say that. I think Italians can run for freaking presidents if they want to.
Well, I mean, but when was the last time we had a freaking Italian with? When was the last time we had a freaking president with a freaking mustache?
Teddy Roosevelt.
Freaking Glover Cleveland or whatever his name is, Danny Glover Cleveland.
Didn't Bill Clinton have a mustache for a little while?
No, but that'd be freaking hilarious. Bill Clinton got it. So I don't know if you ever heard about this freaking story. And I just want to go into this a little bit further. Weakers and tweakers, I hope you come along for the ride because we're taking a deep dive into freaking Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton, a little known fact, Bill Clinton in the early freaking 90s got a freaking job from a woman. You freaking guessed it. She was his freaking aide. She was his nurse because he was so freaking old. And she was, and her name, freaking Monica Lewinsky. And she gave him a freaking job in the Oval freaking office, right in the freaking center of the Oval.
But was she was his aide, or I thought she had some other sort of job in
She's
the
an
White
intern.
House.
She's an intern.
She was an intern.
Yeah, which is it's a type of freaking waiter essentially, but she wasn't of the gay persuasion. At least I freaking hope not. If she's freaking.
Well, do you think that Joe Biden's right and all waiters are gay?
That's what Joe Biden's mad about is that there's too many gay waiters and he can't get a job in the Oval Office now.
Yeah. I don't know if the job is right for him, to be freaking honest with you. Because, first of all, do I think all freaking waiters should be gay? Yes, I do. Because they're freaking hilarious and they're freaking great at their freaking job and they're very freaking attentive with the breadsticks, the pasta, and then the whatnot. But in a perfect world, that would be the way it is. This world is not freaking perfect. And Doug Jordan, yes, freaking gay people, straight people, they have the right to go to be freaking waiters and waitresses. And geez Louise, down on my knees, I think people are calling them freaking servers this day. Because so that we don't have to identify their gender, because gender is freaking fluid too. It sometimes freaking are a man, and sometimes you're a freaking lady, and sometimes you're the third freaking thing that I freaking can't put my finger on. Can't see it as it freaking walks by me, but geez Louise, down on my knees, it is real. And we here at WAYO LP freaking Rochester totally and completely freaking support it.
Yeah, I mean, you said that already earlier when we were talking about the story too.
Yeah. Well, I'm just spitballing here. We ran out of show about 10 minutes ago in terms of the freaking script. We just blew right through it. And geez Louise, down on my knees. I did have this segment called freaking sleeping positions, but we'll have to do it another freaking day because I really don't want to freaking talk about it. Doug Jordan, who are you going to freaking vote for? Is it going to be Republican or Democrat? And who have you voted for in the past? Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that on the radio. It's my vote and it's freaking private. But I am a registered Democrat.
So all the weakers and tweakers out there that are dying to know, that are feeling lost in this political 2020 election. They don't know what to do. Are they going to vote for freaking Trump for the first time because they liked him so much this year that they're going to vote for him for the next year or the next 4 freaking years? Do they want to see if he'll do the freaking wall, so they're going to vote for him for that? Or do they want to try somebody freaking new? Maybe freaking Andrew Yang, who's Asian American, and he loves freaking economics, and he's an entrepreneurial, and he loves entrepreneurial, and guess what he freaking wants? He wants to give you $12,000 a freaking month, $1,200 a freaking month, free. You just get it.
Then you should probably vote for him.
That's why I'm gonna freaking vote for it. But by that point, I actually might be a freaking felon if this freaking trial. Weakers, tweakers, thrill seekers. I haven't talked enough about this, but I am very freaking nervous that I'm gonna be going away, and then I'm gonna be going away for a long freaking time. I know that I'm trying to put a good face on and act as though my freaking court-appointed attorney is gonna save me, but. Geez Louise, down on my knees. I don't know if there's anything he can freaking do.
I mean, you could just plead guilty and just take the lowest sentence, or maybe you could try and figure out a plea bargain. I'm not even sure that was me on the freaking tapes. Now, we talked about this a few weeks ago. Is it possible that it was freaking doctored footage? No, because you admitted to doing it, so it's not doctored if you said that you were there and you were doing it.
We've gone over this several times, Doug. If you say it on the radio, you cannot be used as evidence against you in a court of law. It could very well be doctored footage.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you guys right now that is definitely not true. Anything you freaking say on the radio, you were held freaking accountable for.
So then, how come you haven't been held accountable for your freaking herpes and dating Sanjay and your loveless marriage and not going to freaking Italy?
I've never said anything about those freaking things. You have always said those things for me.
Check the tapes, Doug. I mean, for Weakers and Tweakers out there, they freaking know. And a lot of Weakers and Tweakers out there have freaking bootleg tapes of this show. I'm pretty freaking sure.
What is a bootleg tape?
It's a freaking tape that they make off the freaking off the freaking radio.
A bootleg tape?
Yeah, that's what I freaking said. Never heard of it?
I think you're supposed to say bootleg tape.
You ever gone to a freaking Grateful Dead concert?
No, I've never gone to a Grateful Dead concert.
Yeah, me neither. They wouldn't freaking have me. Weakers, Tweakers, Thrill Seekers, this has been a great freaking show. And we're not going to stop doing it. And if I have to do this freaking show from freaking prison while I'm chained to a freaking wall, getting whipped by my freaking cellmate with a freaking wet freaking towel, and whipped until my back is freaking bloody and red, and all I got is a freaking microphone, and the whole show is just me screaming in freaking pain. If I have to do it that freaking way, I will do it because we here at freaking Our Week in Review just love you so freaking much. And we love you so freaking much that if you would have us, we would have sex with you. And we would take you out to dinner, and then we would have sex with you after dinner, and we'd get you freaking ice cream, and then we'd have sex in the ice cream, and then we'd serve it to each other. And geez Louise, down on my knees, if that's the freaking thing that needs to happen, so that we can get freaking through to you, is that I need to go to freaking prison and do a freaking prison show. And geez Louise, down on my knees, all I got is a freaking microphone, then I'll freaking do it. Doug Jordan, will you show up? Will you commit a crime? And what crime will you commit so that you can get into prison with me and do the freaking show?
Yeah, I'm not going to commit any crime. I'm definitely not going to go to freaking prison with you. I like my life not in prison.
Maybe you could become a freaking prison guard, and you and I could do the guard and the freaking prisoner.
I don't think it's very likely for me to be the guard and me to be working at the prison that you're at, especially if we know each other. And it's documented that I paid money for you to get out of jail, so I don't think I could be the prison guard at the prison that you're at.
Well, then, Weakers, Tweakers, Thrill Seekers, I think that, and we'll end this freaking show on this, I think that you know what you'll have to freaking do. You have to freaking break me out. Just the same way that I freaking broke Sandy out years ago. And for Weakers and Tweakers out there who don't know that story, I broke Sandy out of freaking prison a long freaking time ago. Well, actually, he got out, but I tried to freaking break him out. I ended up getting freaking arrested. And I didn't freaking do anything wrong.
Aren't you a ward of the state?
Yeah. Hopefully they'll get me off, but I'm not sure. My my court-appointed attorney said that he might go for the insanity plea. So,
what's the insanity police?
Insanity plea? A plea?
Is it like a special type of police that deal with crazy people?
Insanity police? Insanity? Is that what I freaking said? Insanity plea? He said I might get the freaking insanity plea. Insanity. Weakers, Tweakers, Thrill Seekers, this has been a great freaking episode of Our Week in Review. We love you so freaking very freaking much. Thank you so much for freaking listening, and we'll see you freaking next week.
Do you want me to say something?
You wouldn't commit any... Doug.
I can't believe you would leave me high.
Yeah, you wouldn't commit any crime.
I bailed you out of freaking prison. What do you mean leave you freaking high and dry? I owe you now. You owe me freaking money.
About the
I'm never going to
show?
see that freaking money. Sandy owes me money. I'm never going to see that freaking money.
You get your freaking bail back when I freaking show up unless I freaking fly the coop, you're going to get your freaking money back. That's how freaking bail works.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'll send freaking Dog the Bounty Hunter after me, whose wife just freaking died. He killed a freaking guy. That's how he went to jail the first time. That's what happened before he went to freaking bounty hunter school, and he's only 5'7". I know a lot about freaking Dog the Bounty Hunter, and rest in peace.